Morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today to hear all about the Grand Canyon and some of the great packages we have here with Amtrak Vacations. I want to go ahead and introduce myself as your webinar host. I am Jackie Malecki, and I am excited because at the end of this presentation, I'll be giving away a $100 Amtrak Vacations gift certificate to one lucky attendee. And all you have to do to win is be present on this webinar at the end of the session. But stay tuned because at the end, I'll also be announcing some exclusive discounts just for all of you for taking the time and joining us today. Now, to book any of these packages that you hear about, you can give us a call at 1-800-AMTRAK2 or call your local travel agent. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to type your questions box right on the right-hand side of your screen, and we'll make sure to answer those at the end of the presentation. So let's get right to it. So why should you travel with Amtrak Vacations? Well, first of all, it's a bucket list experience to travel by train. You're going to see some beautiful parts of the country, some beautiful landscapes you would never see by flying or driving. There's room to roam on board. You can get up out of your seat, walk around, maybe go to the observation car, enjoy the beautiful views there. Or you can go to the dining car, grab a bite to eat. It's less hassle when you book with us because we make sure to take care of everything for you. Not just your rail, but we're also booking your hotels, sightseeing tours. We have e-tickets and electronic documents. The train has city-to-city service. What I mean by this is the train will pick you up in the heart of one city and bring you right to the next, right to downtown, city center, or right into the national parks. You can satisfy your hunger on board the train. There's a dining car on all the long-distance trains with a chef that's preparing the meals. And there's also a snack car on all the trains if you just want to grab a quick bite while you're on board. And we have lots of flexibility with our packages. Most of them have daily departures, and we can customize anything to make the perfect vacation package for you and for your family. Now, I always love showing this map because a lot of people don't realize the extent that Amtrak travels to. It goes to 46 of the 48 continuous states. The only two it does not go to are South Dakota and Wyoming. And a little fun fact I always love to share is last year, 31.6 million people traveled on Amtrak. And that's people coming from all over the U.S. and all over the world, really, that all just want to enjoy a nice scenic train ride. Now, one thing I want you all to keep in mind while we go through some of these packages in just a minute is how you get to the start and home at the end. We can add the train from your local Amtrak station taking you to the start of the package. You can train city to city, and we'll add the train taking you back home. But you also have the option to fly round trip and just train city to city. So it all depends on how much time you have for your vacation, what your budget is there. We can do any of those possibilities for you. So I do want to run through our different product types real quick before we introduce our guest speaker today, who's going to talk all about the Grand Canyon. So our product types, we have some escorted rail journeys going out to the national parks like Glacier and Yellowstone. With those, you're traveling with a small group. There's a tour guide that's with you for the duration of the trip. It's all inclusive of guided sightseeing tours, so great for those that don't like to worry about what they're going to do and see every day while they're on their vacation. The majority of what we do, though, is independent rail journeys, and that's really what we're going to focus on today mostly, too. And those are multi-city trips, and you take the train from city to city, but we still include your hotels, sightseeing tours, but you're going to travel more at your own pace. We have our family adventures, great for multi-generational travelers, lots of family-friendly activities, and amazing pricing for children. We have our rail and sail program, so if you're doing a cruise, maybe an Alaska cruise, you don't just have to fly to your departure port city. You can take a nice scenic train ride, do a little exploring before your cruise. We have rail getaways. Those are single city trips. We have the Amtrak train from your local station there. And of course, we have our packages going out to the beautiful national parks. But today we're going to focus on the Grand Canyon, and now it's my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Simon Watson.
Hello everyone, thank you very much for taking the time to join us today to take a look at this very special destination. Here at Amtrak Vacations, this is probably one of our favorite destinations to visit. This particular park is so easy to get to and so much fun to get to. Some of the parks that we offer can be a bit of a challenge, but this one is just so simple and so much fun. And of course, once you get there, extremely scenic, one of the most beautiful sights in the world. The Grand Canyon was designated as a national park in 1919, and it now receives almost 5 million visitors each year. So it's one of the second most visited parks in the country, and that really speaks to how easy it is to actually get there. We look at Yellowstone, Yosemite, Glacier. Some of those here, they're quite remote. We can get you there, but Grand Canyon is definitely one of the easiest places to visit. So it is 277 miles long, up to 18 miles wide at its widest point, and up to 1 mile deep. Now, it's not actually the biggest, it's not even the deepest canyon in the world, but it really is obviously the most famous, most recognizable, and probably one of the most beautiful sights you'll ever be lucky enough to see. And having been there myself, I can certainly say that's true. So when you're traveling on Amtrak, we give you a very convenient way to visit the canyon on board the famous Southwest Chief. Now, this train leaves daily from Chicago, traveling west and east from Los Angeles every day. It's a superliner train with bedrooms, roomettes, family bedrooms, accessible bedrooms, and coach seating, and we'll look in more detail later at these different types of accommodations. And on which direction you're traveling from, you'll pass through deserts, mountains, endless farmlands, cross some mighty rivers, and even see a variety of wildlife. I've traveled on this entire route. I was lucky enough to see some eagles, I saw elk, bighorn sheep. I even saw a couple of llamas sat by the tracks somewhere in New Mexico. And your destination on the train is going to be Williams, Arizona, which is the gateway to the Grand Canyon. It's a fun little town. It's located on historic Route 66, and they really make the most of this connection with some great restaurants full of memorabilia. And when you arrive there, you're going to be to the Grand Canyon Railway Hotel. If you're arriving from the east, you're going to be arriving in the evening, and you're going to check into this lovely, comfortable hotel. And if you're arriving from the west in the morning, you're going to have your breakfast here at the cafe, which we'll look at in a moment. So you'll be picked up from the train and taken directly to the hotel to await the next part of your journey. Hotel's very comfortable rooms. It has a pool, it has restaurants, and it's right in downtown, so you can stroll out and enjoy wonderful Williams too. And in most of our packages, you're going to have breakfast at the Grand Depot Cafe to start off your day. It's got a fantastic buffet selection with a wide range of breakfast favorites, including the very popular omelette station, where you can construct your own delicious omelette with a variety of toppings. And after breakfast, you're going to step outside and you're going to be treated to a fun Wild West shootout just outside the hotel. You'll meet the notorious Cataract Creek Gang, who will put on a hilarious performance for the crowd until the marshal comes along to capture the bad guys, and your fun ends for the day. It's a lot of fun for young and old. Everyone really gets into the spirit of it. They encourage people to participate. It's an awful lot of fun. And then once the conductor yells, "All aboard," it's time to go board the Grand Canyon Railway train for your journey up to the South Rim. Now, there's been a train service on this route taking people into the park since 1901, and it's a fantastic, easy way to get up there. Even if you don't arrive into Williams by Amtrak, you can still take advantage of this service on the Grand Canyon Railway rather than drive up to the rim. You'll really enjoy the scenery more, and you get some entertainment on the train too. So you can sit back, look out for wildlife, and even real-life cowboys, because you're passing through ranch land on the way up to the South Rim. There's several different accommodation options on the train. If you talk to your travel agent or talk to one of our vacation consultants, we can talk you through which one works best for you. You can travel in coach, there's an observation car, there's even a luxury parlor class. But whatever service that you use, there will be representatives from the National Park Service making their way through the train during the trip, handing out maps, answering any questions you might have about what to do when you get up there. So they really take the time to speak with you and give you lots of in-depth information about what you're about to do. You'll also be lucky enough to hear one of the resident musicians on the train, playing some tunes for you to accompany the amazing scenery. And then once the train arrives up at the South Rim, you'll be really close to the edge of the canyon, which is why it's such a convenient way to get up there. You have no need to wait in traffic during the busy summer months to find a parking spot. You're going to arrive in comfort and you're going to be rested to enjoy the amazing scenery. And no matter what time of year you travel, this place really will take your breath away. You're going to be at an elevation of about 6,800 feet, which means even in the height of summer, when it's pretty hot down on the floor of the canyon, it's going to be cooler up there on the rim. Even average temperatures, you're looking at something in the low 80s, so it'll be nice during the day and it will be refreshingly cool in the evening. Winters can be cold, but just wrap up warm, and if you're really lucky, you might even be able to see some of those famous red rocks capped in some light snow. And then what to do when you actually get up there. So again, we try to make this as easy as possible for you. Most of our packages include a motor coach tour upon arrival at the South Rim. So the motor coaches are all lined up right by the train depot, and you'll disembark from the train and go take a guided tour of the rim. And the guides do a really great job of just giving you all the knowledge that you need to really appreciate this natural wonder. Now, for most packages, this tour will finish up with a nice buffet lunch, and then you have a free rest of the afternoon to go take a walk and enjoy the park. We can also arrange helicopter rides, for example, so you can even take in those incredible views from the sky. Once you're done exploring and you've gone to some of the different viewpoints and taken your look out over the canyon and enjoyed those amazing views, maybe try and get there for sunset so you can take in those rich colors. But then you'll head to your hotel, which for most people is going to be the lovely Maswik Lodge. Now, wherever you stay, if you come up on the Grand Canyon Railway, then your bags are going to be transferred for you to your hotel and be waiting for you when you arrive. And here at the Maswik, you're only a short distance, about a quarter of a mile from the South Rim. It has very spacious rooms, 1 king or 2 queen beds. There's also accessible rooms available too. And the lodge has a food court and a pizza pub, so you won't have to go far to get something to eat. Another option we could look at would be the Thunderbird. So it's a newer lodge built in the 60s, and it's right by the rim. It does have canyon side rooms with partial canyon views available, but these really do sell out far, far in advance. So really, the earlier you make your booking, the better. And again, the bedding types, you've got king bed, 2 queens, and again, fully accessible rooms. I really can't repeat that enough. You just make sure you book early for these canyon side lodges, including this one, the most famous of all, the Tovar. So you're going to see it as soon as you arrive on the train because it's located right by the depot. Beautiful lodge. It's listed on the National Register of Historic Places, and it's been welcoming guests since way back in 1905. Some famous people have stayed there in the past: Teddy Roosevelt, Albert Einstein, and Sir Paul McCartney, among many, many others. And this place really does sell out fast. You either have to book very, very early or be very, very lucky to get a room here. But if you don't manage to get a room, then there is a great backup plan to make sure that you enjoy it. You just make a reservation for lunch or for dinner. And again, you're going to want to do that early, a few weeks in advance, because those places are difficult to come by. But at least this way you get to enjoy the beautiful historic dining room and its amazing food, and you get to enjoy the spectacular view over the canyon. And as you can see in the top right, they've even got a seasonal patio out there too, so you can enjoy the view outside. So, to remind you, you're taking the train up to the Grand Canyon. It's a simple, it's a fun, it's a beautiful scenic way to enjoy this very special part of the U.S. The Southwest Chief will treat you to beautiful views of plains and mountains and deserts, and all the while you just sit back, you enjoy the observation car, you eat a delicious meal, and you get to chat with your fellow passengers. And whether you're after a short trip or a longer journey, we've got a range of different packages to get you there. So, for example, a package like this, the Grand Canyon Getaway, 3 nights and 4 days. So 1 night Williams, you take the Grand Canyon Railway up to the South Rim, you do a guided motor coach tour, which we just looked at, and then you stay for 1 night at the South Rim, probably the Maswik Lodge, but yeah, we can always look at upgrading to one of the other lodges. And then you take the train back down to Williams, and that Cataract Creek gang that we saw for the Wild West Shootout, they're going to attack the train as you go back down and do a fun little show for your journey back to Williams, and then you stay another night in the Grand Canyon Railway Hotel. So this package, you can combine it with the train to or from Williams, you can drive in or fly to Flagstaff or Phoenix and get a transfer up. And then once you get to Williams, your package begins, and we can even customize the length of the trip, try and upgrade you to different class of services on the train. So just call your travel agent or speak to one of our vacation consultants here, and we'll see what we can do for you. Now, for a longer journey, to make the most of the sites on the Southwest Chief route, you could try this, the Grand Canyon Discovery, which is one of our most popular packages. So 2 nights Chicago, 2 nights in Santa Fe, Williams, the Grand Canyon, and then Flagstaff and Sedona. So we will start in Chicago, which, you know, if you've never been, it's a fascinating city to visit, incredible food, amazing architecture, interesting museums. You know, Chicago really has something for everyone. We'll take you on a guided tour of the city so you can learn more about the rich history and the culture, and then you make use of a hop-on, hop-off pass to get you around and enjoy dinner at a popular restaurant. And then after 2 nights in Chicago, you'll head to Union Station to board the train. The Southwest Chief leaves Chicago early afternoon, and if you're traveling in sleeping accommodation, then you have access to the Metropolitan Lounge at the station. Complimentary beverages and snacks there. You can drop your bags if you want to go out and explore a bit more before you take the train. And then once you're on board and get comfortable, the city will slowly disappear, and you'll be going through sort of small town Illinois and farmland and wide open plains. Hopefully get a nice colorful sunset while you eat dinner in the dining car, and then you're going to cross through Kansas through the night, and in the morning wake up in Colorado and start journeying up through the mountains. You'll get to Lamy and take a shuttle service up to Santa Fe. For 2 nights, you're going to stay in this historic, vibrant city. You'll do a walking tour, and you'll learn more about its history, the art, the culture, the cuisine, and then the shuttle is going to take you back from your hotel down to Lamy to rejoin the train and carry on to Williams. And as we've seen, Williams is the gateway to the Grand Canyon and the best and simplest way to enjoy this area. You'll stay the night again at the Grand Canyon Railway Hotel. You'll have breakfast the next day at the Grand Depot Cafe, and then you'll get your Wild West Shootout and board the Grand Canyon Railway. And up at the South Rim, you'll have your motor coach tour and enjoy the breathtaking views of the canyon, and stay at the Maswik Lodge, and then the next day you're going to take a transfer to Flagstaff. You'll have an evening to explore the historic brick buildings of downtown Flagstaff. It's a really nice area to walk around, some great restaurants, and then the next day you'll take a day trip to Sedona, where you'll get a guided jeep tour of the famous Red Rocks. You'll also have some free time after your tour to explore the charming downtown of Sedona and do some souvenir shopping as well. And then it's back to Flagstaff, where you'll stay the night before leaving out the next morning. So that's 10 days, Chicago, Santa Fe, Williams, Grand Canyon, Flagstaff, and Sedona, sightseeing included, and you'll also get that overnight trip on the famous Southwest Chief. Another option for this area would be the Grand Canyon Explorer, which is probably one of our second most popular packages here. A very similar itinerary, but without Chicago. So instead, you're going to start in Albuquerque with a night there to explore this city in the high desert. And then you will go on to Santa Fe. So there we go, starting in Albuquerque, and then on to Santa Fe for 2 nights with a sightseeing tour included. You can visit some of the many art museums with Native American art or famous local artists like Georgia O'Keeffe. And then from Santa Fe, you'll be off to Williams to get ready for the Grand Canyon section of your trip. You'll enjoy that train ride up to the South Rim. And then with this package, you're going to stay here for 2 nights. So with that extra time, you have that time to explore the park a little further. There's a free shuttle bus service that will take you around the length of the rim, go in areas where cars can't travel to access some of the different viewpoints further along the rim. So a fun thing to do for some is to take the shuttle right to the end of its route and then walk your way back to the Grand Canyon Village. So it allows you to access more of that area and get some different views. And then it's 2 nights in Flagstaff to enjoy that day trip to Sedona into Red Rock Country. So this package starts in Albuquerque, finishes in Flagstaff, and you can take the train to or from the different starting points, fly in or out, all kinds of different combinations that we can look out for you, and your travel agent or one of our vacation consultants can help you work out what works best for you. Another alternative would be the Grand Canyon Family Adventure. So designed for families really traveling together from the Midwest. As you can see, it includes that round-trip rail from Chicago, and this one just stays in Williams. So you have 2 nights at the Grand Canyon Railway Hotel. So you start in Chicago and take the Southwest Chief overnight. If you're starting from somewhere other than Chicago, your travel agent or vacation consultant can help you plan a trip. But you're going to get to Williams and board that Grand Canyon Railway and do a same-day round trip. And as you see here, you've got the Cataract Creek gang robbing the train on the way back down to Williams. So there we go, up to the South Rim. So you get up there, you do your motor coach rim tour, and then you make your way back down. So 5-day trip, 2 nights on the train, 2 nights in Williams with a couple of meals included. And again, if you're starting from somewhere other than Chicago, then we can customize something for you. So that's from the Midwest. But if you're traveling from the West Coast, then you could do the very popular Rails to the Grand Canyon package. You leave Los Angeles Union Station, you cross over the mountains bordering the Mojave Desert, and then you're going to travel through the night into Arizona. The next morning, you'll arrive in Williams, you'll have breakfast, and then you do the Shootout and the train to the South Rim. You get the motor coach tour again with the lunch, and then you stay for 2 nights at the Maswik Lodge. So before you board the train in Los Angeles, you could hop over the street and see the famous historic Olvera Street. Then you're boarding that train over to Williams. The steam train doesn't run every day. There's only certain times through the summer when the actual steam train, which runs on vegetable oil, runs. Most of the time it's the train that we saw earlier. And then you're up at the South Rim to do your motor coach tour. So it's the 5-day trip with the round trip from Los Angeles in coach accommodations, but upgrades are available. So we've got many, many more packages available, and we can also customize trips to suit your needs. You could look at doing a short trip on the train just to experience it, or make the most of it and enjoy an overnight trip. So many different options, and we'll try our best to make it as easy for you as we can. So skip those long lines at the airport, take the train. It really is a much more fun way to travel. So some of the different accommodation options. We'll start with coach. So you've got lots of leg room on here. You've got a footrest, a leg rest. It reclines up to 45 degrees back. You've got your fold-down table, electrical outlets at each seat. It really is a very comfortable way to travel, but the good news is that you don't have to sit there the entire journey. You are allowed to get up and walk around. No seatbelt signs on the train. So you can get up, go explore, go to the observation car, go get some food from the dining or the cafe car. But if you want a bit of privacy, then you have the option to upgrade to roomette accommodations. You really do need to book early for these to get the best pricing and availability. But once you do, you've got your space, you've got your own small room, which is 2 seats that face each other during the day, and then your room attendant will fold those down into beds at night. And when traveling in a sleeper, your regular meals are included in the dining car, which we'll take a look at in a moment. Up from the roomette, you have the bedroom, which has an armchair as well as that bench seat. And again, it will be made into beds at night and then put back in the morning by your room attendant. Now, the advantage of the bedroom is a bit more space, plus you have your own private toilet and shower facilities in your room. If you're traveling with others, you can even try and get 2 adjacent bedrooms and turn them into a suite for 4. As you can see in the bottom left here, we've got 2 of those bedrooms joined together. And then you've got the accessible bedroom in the top left, and then the family bedroom off to the right for 2 adults traveling with 2 small children. So a couple of different of the room options on the train. And then the highlight of any Amtrak trip for me is definitely the observation car. So large picture windows, you've got seats that face outwards to really enjoy the scenery. It's just so comfortable and so bright in here. I really do find that I spend most of my time in here when I travel. And then downstairs from here you have the cafe car as well, which is open most of the day with with snacks and drinks available for you too. So you can just come in here, take a seat, pop downstairs to get something to eat or drink, and then come back up to enjoy that scenery. And then, as I said, if you're in sleeping accommodation, then your regular meals are included as part of your fare. So breakfast is open seating. Go along whenever you like to, whenever you wake up to enjoy a delicious breakfast and get your morning coffee. Lunch and dinner reservations are necessary, and those in sleeping accommodations will get the first pick. The seating is communal, so you'll have a chance to meet and speak with some of your fellow passengers. And you really never know who you're going to meet. On the last trip that I took from Chicago, I got to have dinner with someone who used to know one of my all-time heroes, the actor Jimmy Stewart. It was a fascinating meal. He was a fascinating man. And really, you just never know who you're going to meet. The menus vary by train. You can see them all on Amtrak.com. But the steak that you can see there in the bottom middle, that's definitely one of the favorites. I think it's pretty much on every menu and is always delicious. And back to Jackie.
Well, thank you so much, Simon, for all that great information all about the Grand Canyon and some of the awesome packages that we have here with Amtrak Vacations. And as Simon mentioned, that is just kind of a small sample of what we have. We have over 50 destinations throughout the U.S. and Canada. You can view them all at amtrakvacations.com, and you can also check out all of our packages going to the Grand Canyon there. But keep in mind, we can still customize anything to make the perfect vacation package for you. So how do you book one of these packages? You can call one of our vacation specialists here at 1-800-AMTRAK2. That's 1-800-268-7252. You can book online at amtrakvacations.com, and you can also reach out to your local travel agent. So I am excited because we have some great discounts on the Amtrak rail portion of your trip. There's one for anyone a part of Veterans Advantage. There's a senior discount for anyone age 62 or older. There's a AAA discount. Children on Amtrak, so children are ages 2 to 12, and they receive 50% off the adult rail fare. And there's also a discount for active military and their families. But what I'm really excited to share with you all today is an exclusive discount just for all of you for taking the time to attend and join us today. And that's on select independent rail vacations, like our Grand Canyon Discovery or Grand Canyon Explorer package that Simon talked about today. If you book one of those by July 6th, we'll give you $300 off per couple. And that promo code there is WebinarJUN. And again, that's a savings of $300 per couple, but don't wait to book because that's only good for the next 2 weeks. So I know it's a lot of information that we gave you all today with the different packages that we have, those promotions there. So there is a handout right on the right-hand side of your screen. So if you want to go ahead and download that, that'll have all the information there. If you do have any questions at all, please feel free to type them into your questions box. We do have some time left, so we can go ahead and answer those questions. Now, before I go ahead and do that, though, I want to announce our lucky $100 Amtrak Vacations gift certificate winner, and that winner is Rovonda Fox. So congratulations, you now have $100 to put towards your next Amtrak Vacations trip. So keep an eye out, we'll be sending that out to you. Now let's get to some of those great questions. We have a question from Nikki. Do I have to pay for my trip in full right away? That's a great question. No, you do not have to pay in full right away for your trip. You can put down just a small deposit, and the full payment is not due until 60 days prior to your departure. Especially with Grand Canyon trips, a lot of those lodges right at the South Rim, they sell out very quickly. So you do want to go ahead and make a reservation right away. You don't want to wait till the last minute to book your trip. So you can put just a small deposit on to lock in that price and your accommodations there. We have a question from Ravonda. I live in Aberdeen, Maryland that has an Amtrak station. Will Amtrak pick me up and drop me off at the station if that's arranged? So with our packages, we do not include transfers from your home taking you to the Amtrak stations there. Certainly to start your trip, if you want to do something like that, you know, a lot of the stations have parking garages there. Some actually even have free parking. So that's always an option. If you're not sure about your specific or local Amtrak station, you can always give us a call, let us know. Some other great options too is maybe a friend, family member dropping you off, or anyone that's familiar with the Uber or Lyft services can certainly take advantage of those too. We have a question from Gary. Can you book using points? So unfortunately at this time you cannot book an entire Amtrak Vacations package using Amtrak Rewards points, but certainly on any rail in your package you can earn Amtrak Guest Rewards points there. Question from, let's see, Lydia, more of a statement there actually. She says, awesome, thanks for all the wonderful info. So thank you so much, Lydia, for all of that. We have a question from Deborah. How long is the train ride from Topeka, Kansas to Williams? So that train ride there, it is going to be an overnight on the train. If you're looking for the exact times that it's going to pick you up in Topeka there, you can certainly give us a call or reach out to your local travel agent. We'll be able to get that information, and we can also put together some pricing for one of the packages that we have picking you right up in Topeka there. A question from Katrina. What type of seat do you have to book that includes meals? So if you would like the meals included on board the train, you can book either of the sleeping accommodations, whether it's the roomette or the bedroom accommodations on the train. With both of those sleepers, all the meals are included in the dining car. So it looks like right now that's all we have for questions today. Actually, it looks like a few are still coming up here. So again, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to keep typing those away there. Question from Jan. Is the $300 savings per couple only good on Grand Canyon Amtrak Vacations or any Amtrak vacation destination? That's a great question, Jan. That $300 savings, we're going to extend it to select independent rail vacations to any of our destinations. So you'll see online, if you take a look at our website, amtrakvacations.com, you'll see promotions there for $200 off certain independent rail journeys there to the various destinations. We're giving you an extra $100. So any of those packages that say $200, just know that you actually get $300 off for taking the time and joining us today on this webinar here. We have a question from Gary. Can you start and end your vacation from Williams? Yes, you can certainly do that too. So our Grand Canyon getaway actually starts and ends in Williams as it's already put together. And for anyone that's flying into maybe Phoenix or Flagstaff airports there, we can certainly do transfers to get you to Williams, or maybe do a car rental for you if you want to do a little drive, maybe stop in Sedona along the way. Again, we can customize anything for you to make the perfect vacation package. We have a question from Barbara. Do you have any connections to the North Rim? So currently at this time, all of the passages that we have are all to the south rim of the canyon using Grand Canyon Railway. So all of our packages are the south rim using Maswik, Tovar, and the Thunderbird Lodges right there. Again, if anyone is doing a rental car, they certainly can drive the canyon, maybe go up to the north rim there and take in those views too if they would like.
And actually, Barbara, just to add that, I've done that drive myself. It is a very, very remote area. It takes a long time to get out there. I mean, that's really why the South Rim is so much more convenient. It's a long way, and there's nothing out there for such an hour after hour of just driving with nothingness. So yeah, South Rim is definitely a more fun experience.
Well, thank you so much for that, Simon. And we have a question from Stephanie. Are there further discounts for groups of 8 or more? So at this time, we don't have extra discounts for any groups, but again, we do have that great $300 per couple discount, which is the highest discount that we have and that we're offering. We have a question from Lydia. When did the $300 promo start? I booked a family of 5 to New York City. I didn't see the discount. So Lydia, that discount is for any packages that are booked today for the next 2 weeks. If you want to go ahead and give us a call, we can look and see if maybe there were any discounts, certainly any of those everyday discounts. If anyone in that family was a children, senior, anything like that, AAA, we can certainly still add those discounts onto that package there. So it looks like that's all we have for questions today. So I want to say thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time and joining us. If you do need anything at all, please feel free to reach out to one of our vacation specialists here or call your local travel agent. Take care and hope you all have a wonderful day.